turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit lonely. That song's been stuck in my head all day. Hey guys, you're watching this one and only. My name is AJ. Welcome back to another episode of AJ Sings Some Bonnie Tyler. No, welcome back to another episode of Let's Build a Tudor Mansion. I've been singing that song while putting all of the windows in to this house. I was just in the car with my fiance and that song came on the radio, and it's one of those songs that I hadn't heard for years, and yet you know all the words to them. It's embarrassing that you know the words to that kind of song. And I was singing away, and ever since, that was yesterday I think, and ever since I just haven't stopped being able to sing it. It's just one of those songs that has been permanently stuck in my head. All the windows are in though. Putting the windows in automatically makes the building look half complete on its own. It's a really weird thing, and I think I might do a couple more open ones as well. Not too many open ones. We'll have an open one on the front and maybe an open one by that back door or something like that, and then that'll do. Because if you do too many, you sort of lose the effect of it. But today, is that chimney higher than that one? I don't know, it might be perspective, but it sort of looks like it. Today I want to do a bit of a roof tutorial. We've done roofs in the past, and everybody always message me. I always get comments and private messages saying, how do you do roofs? I can never get them to look right, and yeah, they can be tricky. Roofs can be very, very tricky. So today, hopefully, I'm going to be able to clear up some bits for you. Now, there's never a specific order that things need to be done in. I really wish there was, but there just isn't. Some people do things in certain orders. The first thing I always do, though, is I always go around the edge with the outside block. Now, our outside block is going to be right here. So that's always the first step I do. Let's get a splash potion to speed this up. Oops, that's a night vision. So we always go around the whole perimeter of the building with these. Now the reason why we do that, do I want to come out one more? Probably. Like that one's going to go there, so that one can go there. Or do we turn it like that? I'm going to leave that like that for the moment. We're going to come across. That leads me on nicely to the problems that you're going to come across. Oh, and that's in the wrong spot as well. Every house, every building that you do will always come across its own problems. It'll always have its own parts that just don't go like the last building you did. There'll always be something different. So me doing a tutorial on roofs in general is pretty much impossible. There's no actual sort of algorithm to it. But there are ways that you can make it easier and narrow down the problems that you're going to have. So, let me just whip around. There will be some off-camera stuff because obviously this is a huge roof. This isn't like a tiny little roof that we can do a 5-minute tutorial on. I think that has to be on this level. And then this one has to be on this level. Yeah, like that. And I think we could probably pull that out to there. Put these underneath here. Oops. No. There. Down this side. Always do this as you go. I find it makes it a lot easier. And then there and there. That one. And I've only just woken up as well. So my block placing might be a little bit off for the first part of the video. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to run this all the way around. And then I shall be back, okay? So, yeah, give me a few minutes. Okay, here's the last little bit. Now, you might have came across something similar to me where a section might be wrong. For example, here, we know that this roof is going to come up in this direction with cobblestone, because that's the main sort of roof block that we're going to use. But then we have these stairs here facing the wrong way. Don't worry about that kind of problem because that will get fixed sort of by itself. Just do them anyway so it looks right, and then afterwards we can go around and change it. So the next step, I say this a lot on the on the spaceship series, and that's by just slowly building something up until it basically builds itself. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to go round all of the areas that you know where blocks need to go, and you're just going to run the stairs around. You're going to run around like this. Now, again, you're going to come across some problems like this, where the stair is actually higher than that, and like, that's not right. What's going on here? Well, that's actually really easy to solve. All we've got to do is take those away and replace them with full cobblestone blocks. Like that. Easy as that. Don't even worry about that kind of thing. So, we're going to go around here. We know that we're going to have these here. Again, we've got this double cobblestone on top of each other problem. So we can fix that really, really easily. That's going to come across to there and nicely joins up. That's always a good thing when things start tying in so early on. So we can do this one. In fact, this is probably a good part of the roof to start on. So what we can do is we can actually stay here for a moment. Splash ourselves so it makes it a little bit quicker. There we go. And as you can see, this is what I'm talking about the roof building itself. If you start off in the sort of style that I've done by putting the edges around first, it's very easy to see what joins up to where. So we've already got a large section of this roof complete with no problem whatsoever. And we've got it's an awkward shape as well. We've got bits wider than others. We've got bits that come forward in front of others, and yet it still all lines up. It's a hard thing to wrap your head around at first, but you will eventually sort of get your head wrapped around it very, very easily. Okay, I'm going to sort of leave that bit for a minute. What we're going to do is we're going to come this way. Whoops, I went up the stairs. This way. This is a really hard placement. There we go. And that one. And no, that one. There we go. So there. Now, I'm not going to go any further left or right because we're not quite sure yet how we want to sort of tie these together. It might be a simple fact of a stair that goes here, and then these wrap around the outside, and it probably will end up being something like that. In fact, it looks like it is. It looks like that sort of ties in really, really well together. Now, this is personal preference, but any parts that this happens, you can either leave it like that, which I might do, or you can take it away and place an upside down one like that and place a log behind. It's totally personal preference. It gives a little bit of a detailed section as it sort of goes up. It's following the pattern of this. I like it. I just don't think I like it in this build. So I'm actually going to remove this again. But that's personal preference. That's just like something extra you can do if you want to. So we now know that this can go here. And this wraps around the side. The trick is not to do anything that you're not 100% sure if the block goes there or not. If you don't know, don't place it. Come back later. Because sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to work out what part you actually think you've done wrong after you've placed so many blocks. Alright. But this part's an easy one. Any wall or any area that hasn't got bits coming off it in like that direction, for example, this hasn't got any windows or anything that we need to work out. It hasn't got any parts coming out in the middle, so these can just join up together super easily. In fact, I think the way that we've set up this house, we shouldn't have too many problems anywhere. You'll probably find that the flatter sections are going to be the most difficult. So we're going to come along here. And another nice thing about the design that we thought about before even starting the house was in episode 1 we worked out exactly that we wanted an even number on the windows, on these peaked sections, you know, the triangle sections that we're doing now. And the reason that we deliberately done that, we deliberately went for an even number when I usually stick to odd numbers, is because when it comes to the top of a peak, you don't have to worry about a slab on the top to make it centered. You have a stair on either side, so it makes a really neat peak. When you start using slabs work very well, and I've used them many times in the past. But if possible, I think this is the only time in Minecraft that you really want to go for an even number of blocks. Even numbers can, a lot of the time, get very much in the way and cause a lot of problems later on. But in this case, it hasn't. Alright, so I'm going to carry on doing this. As you can see, I haven't run into any problems yet. I'm just going to sort of slowly keep building sections up. There will be some sections that do get like a little bit tricky, but I'll come back for those. Okay, so I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, I've done all these sort of self-building parts for the moment. There's a couple of things that I've come back for, though. One, I absolutely love this section. Look, that done it itself, because we have this sort of sticky out part here for the fireplace. As long as you keep with the stair pattern, you end up getting this beautiful natural peak. Really, really nice touch. I just love that little bit of dynamic shape there. But there's a couple of things that we want to go over now. The first one is this spot here. Obviously, it's wrong for us to do that here with the full cobblestone blocks. Instead, what we need to do is actually build out a slight bit of wall like this. But these top two need to be the logs to be in line with that. So we're going to do the same. Oh, we don't need to do the same on that side. So we're going to do that. And now, as you can see, it looks like the wall continues on back as well now. So it's just that little sort of part of 3D that we missed. So now they can go there, there, and there. We also need it there, there, and the other side of this peak. Like that. And there's that section now done. Now this makes it super, super easy to fill in this one. This is not a fast thing to do, though. This does not take a couple of minutes just to throw a roof on it. I've been going now for 25 minutes, and this is how far we've got. That's including me cutting away for sections. So it's definitely not a simple thing. You know, it's not like, today I can just, or in this 5 spare minutes that I've got before I need to go to school, I'm going to put a roof on. Because it really doesn't work like that. There's a little bit of sort of thinking required, but just basically a lot of fiddly sections. There's a lot of turning required, and that's a good thing. The turning means that you've got a really dynamic shaped roof. If you don't have to turn a lot, it probably means that you've either got a very square and boringly shaped building, or you're doing something wrong. You need to be able to turn at all times and really make it weave in and out. Now, there is going to be an interesting section of roof when we get right to doing the top. As you can see, we're going to have a little bit of a section that's going to be a little bit void. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do about that yet. That's something that we have to work out. Now, same with this section. This is why I left this part out. What we need to do is build this block out to wrap around the brick section that we've got here. Oops. There. And down there. Beautiful. Isn't it lovely when it joins up together? And then that means that we can now just place down these blocks here. And now from the outside, you can't tell that there's a gap there. Obviously, underneath, you can see... Oh, hiccups. You can see that there isn't actually all the bricks that we require there. We'll put those in afterwards if we need it. It doesn't really matter either way. We'll concentrate on the roof for the moment, so I'm not even going to think about how we're going to do the interior section yet. But now we've got that bit in. There we go. I got my voice back. We can then easily stick this around here. And as you can see, it builds up so quickly. You think, oh, there's a huge void of air here. How long is it going to take me to do this? Well, you'll be surprised how quickly these parts come together. We've only got 3 more layers, and then they join up. So, like this, and like this. So far, haven't had any problem. I am dreading over there, like in front of my cursor. We shall do that together and try and work that section out, because that might be a little bit tricky. It might be really easy once we sort of sit down and really work it out. But just at the moment, it looks a little bit awkward. You'll get this happen occasionally too. This is no problem. All you need to do is take them away and replace them maybe in a different order to what you had before. And it'll fix itself. Beautiful. Check this out. Oh, that's looking so cool. I absolutely love it. Now, this section. This is the hard section. I think what we need to have is that one like that. Then I think we're going to wrap this one around in this direction and put a full cobblestone block there. And then wrap the cobblestone around here. Once we've got that, the rest of it will be a lot easier. And then it's just wrapping up this side and tying it all together. So we want that one, and that one. Take that one away. Oops. Put that one there. No, I need to turn that one. Well, we can either turn it like that. Oh, you're joking me. I had it and I deleted it. Like that. Or we can put... No, I like that. Other option was to put a... keep the stair facing that way and then put a full block here to block up that little gap. But I think I prefer that a little bit more. Alright, it's easy from here. This one. And wrap it around this way. Again, I'm not quite sure exactly how we're going to do the big air gap that we're going to have in the middle. We might just fill it up with slabs. We might do some more dips and peaks and valleys and stuff. We'll have to see exactly how much room we have afterwards. And maybe even count to see if it's odd or even. Maybe that will sway our decision on how we're going to do the top of it. But this is going to get us most of the way. That one, and that one. Alright, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I don't know yet, there might even be some parts that we could do some more wooden stairs on to make it stand out. I might do some windows that pop out of the roof as well. Although we've already got windows on this sort of third story here, if that's 1, 2, 3. I might actually do some sticking out of the roof tiles themselves. They do look pretty cool as long as they're scaled right. If we get a correct scale, if they're too small, they look poxy. If they're too big, they look way out of place. Luckily, we have a large building, so we have like a lot of options for sizing. And I think, seeing as though we have windows on this level, we should really utilize that by putting more windows in here. It'll give us more interior options as well. The only problem is with an attic floor, if you like, in Minecraft, is it doesn't give you much room to build, because when you're building down here, you've got this archway coming at your face all the time, so it makes it a little bit awkward to build. Alright, this is the top section that we have left over. Now, there's obviously option A, is to do a flat section of roof. In fact, that could look really nice, because what we could do is we could actually surround it in sandstone slabs. We'll do both options together. So option A would be to go around, put these slabs in around here, like this, all the way around the outside, and then fill it in with cobblestone, because that then gives us the same sort of pattern as what we've done on that brick section, right here. So you could do that. That would sort of tie everything together pretty nicely. The other option is to make the peaks go a little bit higher in this middle. Now we'll have to see exactly what we think about this, but the other option is actually just to run around there. Run around the whole outside and just keep building it up. Keep building it up taller. Depending on the size of the house, that's really going to make a difference. If you have, and the size of the void, obviously the bigger void that you have, the taller this peak is going to end up being. We can actually find out how tall this peak is going to be by actually just building a little bit ahead like this. And around there. Oops. This section is obviously an odd numbered section here. We can't predict this kind of thing this as early on in the build as what we are. When it comes to roof, you just sort of have to experiment, unless you want to go crazy into maths to try and figure out exactly how wide each section, and is every section going to be odd or even. It's really not my thing to do. So you sort of, at the beginning, start off with an idea of where you want things to be odd and even, and then just sort of let it flow, let it happen later on. If you really need something to be an odd or even number, you can always change a section of the roof earlier down here to then sort of extend it by 1 block, therefore making the very top the opposite to what it was before. So if it was even at the top, if you extended like this block by 1 before it started going up again, it then becomes even. Silly things like that will help you along, but I don't think most of you are gonna need that kind of trickery, that, you know, editing with it. Let's come back here. Now this bit does get a little bit wider, so obviously the peak's going to be a little bit taller here. What we can do, the nice thing about doing it in this way, is if the peak ends up looking a little bit too high, we can actually end up removing a few layers and then doing the sandstone pattern, so we end up with a bit of a balance of both designs in here. At the moment, I actually don't mind the peak of this. I don't mind this part of the roof being higher than the chimneys. I think they're actually going to end up being on the same height. I don't mind that either. As long as the part right near the roof isn't taller, right near the chimney, like this part and this part. As long as these 2 points weren't as tall or taller than the chimney, I don't mind. But other parts of the roof really doesn't matter. Right, let's just grab these. No, no, no. Yes, that's the one. Bring that down there. You will get some lighting or some lag when doing the final sections of the build like this, because it's starting to turn off the light on the inside of the house. All the sections, as you can see, I start to get a little bit jumpy as we get closer and closer towards the end. Like that. And it's like, oh, it's freaking out because the light's being shut away and it doesn't really know what to do. So it's not your Xbox breaking, it's just the game breaking. Oops. Down here. Nearly there. We've nearly got it. Down this side. Oh, that lag. That stutter. Ooh, there we go. Okay, boom. What do we think? I really like that high roof. I love that. That looks so cool. I love the open window. It really draws you right to it because you think, oh, I've missed a window. And then you look at it and you're like, oh, no, the window's open. Really, really nice touch. I love it. I really do like it. I think this is good. What about from this side? Always check from all different sides. That's a really nice side as well. This section, I must admit, looks very tall. On this level, it looks fine. We've got the sort of 5 blocks of brick and then sort of 2 blocks of spruce, 3 blocks of wool, 2 blocks of spruce, and then the cobblestone on top. When you get higher, about this angle, which admittedly is a bit of an odd angle to look at a building at anyway, it looks extremely steep and extremely tall. I'm just trying to think of maybe something that we can do to change that. You could probably put in a chimney in the middle. Like all of our chimneys, the 3 chimneys that we've got at the moment are actually on the edge of the house. Maybe if we put one in towards the middle, like maybe there. Let's give it a go. Like this. I have no idea if this will even be hooked up to anything below. Obviously, the 3 outside ones, we can have fireplaces in those sections, I assume, no problem, because we deliberately spaced out an area for them to go. Oops, this is too high. But maybe this one, we can do something like the Titanic. You know how the Titanic had a fake chimney? The Titanic had 4 chimneys, similar to our house here. But only 3 of them were actually used. The last one was only there for looks. They thought that the ship looked weird with only 3, so they actually added a dummy one that didn't do anything. Okay, I think that's actually done the job. I think that's actually made the roof look a little bit shorter on that section. Sort of thrown the eye off from a giant cobblestone area. I think that's pretty good. I think that's a good one. Unfortunately, though, that is all we've got time for. Luckily, that's all I allocated for because I knew this roof was going to take a really, really long time. But I'm really, really pleased with how it turned out. If you guys enjoyed the episode, then hit that like button. I really do appreciate it. Nope, still can't get it. It means a lot. How about that? And if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to keep up to date with this build and all the other builds that we're doing here on the channel.